Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. My name is Jennifer, and I wanted to talk to you guys about something today, something that I've been thinking about. The definition of success, okay, and how I view that word, and how I measure myself up to that word success. But ultimately, what does success mean to me? How do I, as somebody who doesn't work and has not worked a normal job um, for the past, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years, the things that I do in my daily life really make or break my feelings of success and if I'm successful. And in the beginning of when I didn't work, um, I don't work due to mental health issues. But in the beginning of that stage of me not working, I really was down on myself. I thought of myself as the bottom tier, the dirt underneath your shoe. But in the back of my mind, I always knew that I had the ability to contribute some way. I always knew that I had something in me to give. I had something in me to help other people and to help myself in the process. I just didn't know what it was, and I was too scared, frankly, to look for it. And throughout my life, I've always kind of had these spiritual experiences that have really made me feel connected to something external. Where I didn't feel so alone. And throughout the journey of my spiritual experience, I have honed in on a process and a new definition to what I believe us as humans, or me as a human, is what it should be measured to. So I've noticed that society and people in general, their notions of success weigh heavily on money, possessions, status, how much power they have, things like that. And I always felt something was off with that. I always felt that I couldn't connect. I couldn't understand that connection, so I didn't strive for it. I tried to strive for it in the beginning, when I was 18, really young. I was trying to strive for what other people were telling me, that what makes you successful. So I was like measuring myself up to that, and I ultimately, every single time, I fell so short of that. And it beat me down. It really got to me to where I couldn't evolve. And so I started to really, look in myself and go into my own ideas, and my own views, and really how I felt and what I could do in my daily life that society may say is nothing, but I really feel that it is a deep integral part of what it means to be a human. And so a few things that I do to make sure that I have had a successful day, and so I don't go to bed feeling like it was a wasted day or I just sat on my ass all day. So if I physically feel like I cannot do anything, I will at least try to learn something. I will open one of these books and I will learn. I will read. I will read articles on the internet. I will watch videos of things I'm interested in. On the TV, I watch science programs, things that interest my explorative adventure nature. But because most of my day my whole life is dependent on how I feel physically. If I feel like I cannot even do anything, because I do suffer with borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, chronic depression with psychosis, insomnia, eating disorders. So I have a lot of mental struggles, and a lot of days I really cannot get out of bed. I cannot do anything. I have just enough energy to go to the couch and lay down, and then go to the bathroom couple times a day. I don't have energy to eat. I don't have energy to talk to people. I don't have energy even to sit up. And so on days when I feel like that, I strive to just learn something new that I never knew before. Watch a program that, is educational in some way, but also on a subject that I find interesting. Like, I'm not going to sit here and watch something on the war because I don't find wars interesting. I find the psychology behind war interesting, but I'll watch something on space or the human body or nature, something like that. I'll read books on my witchcraft, spirituality. But like I said, if I can get up and do something, I find a successful day. When I lay in bed, I feel successful when I have created something, when I have pulled an image out of my mind and made it into reality. All of my art starts as a mental image. All of it starts as a flash of a visual representation in my mind, which I think all ideas, that's where everything comes from. Flashes of images, inspiration, you could call it inspiration. But it's just a mental image of something that I want to create. Or if it's something I see out, but I don't have the money to buy it, I will try to create it with things that I have or things that I can buy for cheap. But those are my, that is what I can do. If I can create something that makes me feel the most successful. So every day I try to create something. I would try to do something that feels productive, that feels like I'm moving forward in a way that I can at the end have something to hold and show you and say, hey, look, I made this. What also makes me feel productive is if I clean my house. That makes me feel productive. If I take care of myself, if I eat something, but mainly when I lay down in bed at night, I don't measure myself up to society's standards because you're always going to fall short, unfortunately. Measure yourself to a standard that you can fulfill. I can't be everything to everybody, and so I limit myself in what I say yes to. That really helps as well too, because I used to think that I had to say yes to everybody, that I had to save everybody, that I had to be everyone's voice if they didn't have theirs. And then in the end, though, those same people that I stood up for and did things for turned the finger on me because I did something that they should have done for themselves. And they blamed me for it. They blamed me for doing it in the end, even though they benefited off of it. So you always have to figure out your own boundaries. You have to really spend time alone with yourself and not let people influence your thoughts and your actions and the things that you do, and how you measure yourself up as being successful, because success looks completely different to every person. This world is different to all of us. We are interacting with the world that we create, that we are thinking about. Whatever is on our minds, whatever we are focused on is what we are bringing about in this world, or what we are choosing to see. So becoming aware of yourself in this existence and how you are and how things make you feel, and being okay with it and accepting it and telling people thus your limits. It's not being mean. It's not being rude. It's not being a bitch or stuck up. It's knowing your boundaries. Like, if I am around somebody who always pisses me off just because of how they are, I'm not going to try to change how they are. I'm just going to not be around them because it's a waste of my energy. It drains me completely. So you have to figure out your own boundaries and your own measures of success and failure and loneliness and freedom. All these things can look different to each and every one of us. So don't let other people influence your views so heavily to where you question them. Whatever you feel is right and correct is right and correct. Just because it's a law doesn't mean it's right or correct. One time slavery was a law. One time, it was lawful to have slaves. It was lawful to beat your wife. It was lawful to, make your children work. Doesn't mean those things were right. So you really have to dig down into your own self and figure out what along your journey in your life has made sense, and how you can bring about something better, something greater than the people that came before you and the people that you surround yourself with. Because who you are around is who you eventually become if you let them influence you so greatly. Because small-minded people who are always going to tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't achieve that, because they're small-minded. But you cannot let that seep into your own thoughts and your own belief in yourself that you can do something. Never be a victim of circumstance. Always have the courage and bravery to adjust those circumstances and make yourself comfortable. I hope this reaches somebody who needs it. I hope that I've inspired you to think of things differently or look at things differently. Be happier in your situation if things aren't going the greatest. Just know I love you guys, and you can change anything at any moment. Remember that. Bye.